Hey, what's going on, people? I just want to get on here, man, and I guess really encourage somebody. Um, just really speak pertaining to, in regards to the recent events that just took place these last past couple of weeks, with the school shooting that happened in Texas, and then with the shooting that took place in Buffalo, New York. Very, 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 very sad that that would even take place. And along with any any other incidents like these that have took place in the past, and even the ones to come, because we know this isn't, we know this isn't the end. But I just really want to get on here and somewhat give a perspective to the question of those who ask, well, where was God at when this took place? Why would God allow this to happen? If he's sovereign, if he's almighty, why couldn't he have stopped it? So many questions come to mind pertaining, to all these things, and rightfully so. And I'm not one of the ones that sit up here and say, well, God works in mysterious ways like that. I feel like that's just a cliche. That's just so cliche, especially, when people just really want to know why. Especially when, for me, I know when a friend of mine died, actually committed suicide when I was in the 7th grade or the 8th grade. And, it really hurt me to the core. I remember crying about it daily. I cried so much when I got to the funeral, I couldn't even cry no more. And I just remember one night, man, I was just praying to God. And I wasn't even saved at the time. I wasn't even thinking about God, excuse me. But I just remember me being on my knees that night, just praying and constantly just praying, asking God why. And I asked why so many times I literally went to sleep, and I literally went to sleep in that prayer position on the side of my bed. And I remember that Sunday. Well, it wasn't that Sunday, that week. It was a revival going on at the church that I was attending at the time. And I remember a pastor had come all the way from Atlanta, Georgia. And this was the day after I prayed. And I remember his exact words. He said, well, I had a sermon. He said, I had a sermon on something totally different. But he said, somebody just been asking why. And, man, when he said that, it was just like, I was just looking up, just like, man, just all into it then. And I really can't remember all that he said, I really can't remember all that he said, but I just do know from the things that I've learned that things are allowed here on this earth so that we don't put our hope and our trust into the things of this world. And like I said, with the things that took place here over the past couple weeks were very tragic. And then we have things that happen even before that we can go on and on and on, and what goes on in third world countries, and go on and on and on. But the truth of the fact of the matter is that this world is evil. And God allows us to suffer so that we won't put our hope and our trust into this world that has to burn away. This world has to go. And there has to be a new earth to come, a new heaven and a new earth. And that's spoken of in the book of Revelations. And I don't know exactly, excuse me. And I know this answer won't suffice to all, and I don't even look forward to. And even in the face of a parent who's lost their child, I don't even expect this. I don't expect this to suffice. We all go through different things. But to actually lose a child is probably, I couldn't even imagine one of the, in such a tragic way, man. So as I said, I know that this answer won't suffice for it all, but just to give a little perspective just on overall why God simply allows suffering to take place, is that he doesn't want us to put our hope and our trust into something that's going to burn, that's something that's only temporary. He doesn't want us to put our hope and our trust into the things of this world. And that's overall. This was technically never his will for us to have to go through. But because sin entered the world, we deal with what we deal with. And even he who sent his own son to die on the cross for our sins suffered a tragic incident with himself, to sit there and watch his son be mocked and ostracized and spat on and kicked and punched and brutally beaten and whipped, and even for something that he did not do, all for a sinful humanity. And so it's not even as he can't relate, because he definitely can, in watching the crucifixion of his son, and his son literally coming to bring life to the world, but yet the world would kill him. And so again, man, just wanting to give some perspective to just tell you that, overall, that God allows suffering to happen in this world today so that we don't put our hope and our trust into anything of this world. Because as you can see, this world is evil. This world is dark. This world is hideous. This world is monstrous. This world is devilish. And nobody, we all suffer and we all go through something. And in those sufferings, God would just remind us, and just to want us to know that I have something better. I have something greater than the situation that you're in, but I allow this to go on so that you don't put your hope into the temporary, and that you put it into the eternity, and what is to come. So I encourage somebody. I love you all. You all stay safe, and peace.